Hello everyone, this is coadb.com, or the Coat of Arms database, and today we are briefly going to discuss several different coats of arms in the Warrenne family. But before we get started, we wanted to let you know that we offer ancestral and genealogy research services at the link in our description. Please visit our website. We are able to trace your ancestry back several hundred years, and in some cases, we're able to pair you up with a coat of arms if your ancestors owned one. The first Warrenne coat of arms to discuss is blazoned Chequy or azure. It was borne by William de Warrenne, who died in the year 1088. He was the Earl of Warrenne in Normandy, who distinguished himself at the Battle of Hastings and was granted lands in several counties in England. He was created the Earl of Surrey by a son of William the Conqueror. He had two sons, William and Reynold, as well as two daughters, one named Edith. Here we see the likeness of William, and we also know that this coat of arms was borne by John Warrenne at the Battle of Falkirk in 1298. Here we see the likeness of William Warrenne with his armor, his coat of arms, on a Masonic piece. Next we have Chequy or azure on a canton gules, a lion rampant argent, crest, out of a chapeau gules turned up ermine, a wyvern tail-nowed argent, wings expanded, Chequy or azure. This was borne by Sir John Borlase of Poynton in Cheshire, England, and it was also borne by Sir William Warrenne at the siege of Calais in the middle of the 14th century. The supporters were borne by Sir George Warrenne in 1761. Thirdly, we have quarterly first and fourth Chequy or azure on a canton gules, a lion rampant argent for Warrenne, second and third, ermine on a bent sable, two arms issuing from the clouds, rending a horseshoe, holding a horseshoe, all proper for Borlase, crest on a chapeau gules turned up ermine, a wyvern argent, wings expanded Chequy or gules. This was the coat of arms of Admiral Sir John Borlase, born in 1735, who was the first Baronet of Little Marlow in Buckingham. He was a British Royal Navy officer, diplomat, and he also sat in the House of Commons. He had two sons, but his daughter was the heiress. Her name was Frances, and she married the 5th Baron Vernon. Next is argent, 3-masted sable between two bars, compony, counter compony, or and azure on a canton of the second, 3 ducal coronets of the third, on a border gules 8 bezants, crest, a lion rampant Chequy or azure holding between the paws a crown gold. This coat of arms was borne by the sons of Christopher Warrenne, born around the year 1560, who was the great-grandson of John Warrenne of Hedbury parish of Ashburton in Devonshire, England. These sons were Reverend Robert Warrenne, the rector of Rheims in Cornwall, Richard Warrenne of Greenwich, a merchant, John Warrenne, Christopher Warrenne of London, and William of London, also a merchant. Next is argent, a fess Chequy or azure between 3 Talbot sable, crest, a demi-greyhound ermine collared Chequy or azure. This was borne by Warrenne of Newton in County Suffolk. They descended from William Warrenne of Newton, who was born around the year 1445. He had a son named John, who married a Dorothy Ford, and had issue with her named Roger, or Robert, Christian, Joan, Agnes, and Anne. Roger had a son named Thomas, who died in 1589, and we know that one of their descendants was a John Warrenne who graduated from Trinity College, Cambridge in 1684. A similar coat of arms with a lion rampant gules holding a crozier oar for a crest was borne by the Warrenne baronets of Warren's Court. The Warrenne baronetcy of Warren's Court in County Cork was created in the baronetage of Ireland on July 7th, 1784 for Robert Warrenne, the High Sheriff of County Cork in 1752, an Anglo-Irish landowner and businessman who owned Warren's Court House and Crookston House. And here we see a postcard with an old photograph of Warren's Courthouse in County Cork, Ireland. Per chevron, oar and sable, 2 chevronels engrailed between 3 griffins' heads erased all counterchange, crest, upon a mount vert, 5 palisades conjoined sable in front of a leopard's head couped proper. This was borne by Reverend Dr. Samuel Warrenne, Rector of All Souls in Ancoats, Manchester, England, the son of Captain Samuel Warrenne, who was formerly of Hopton, County Suffolk. His eldest son was a member of Parliament for Midhurst in the middle of the 19th century. Next we have quarterly per fess, dancet, argent, and gules. This was the funeral entry of one Walter Warrenne, who died in Ireland in the year 1620. A similar coat of arms with the first and fourth quarter featuring a cinquefoil gules, found in a funeral entry of someone who died in 1660, likely a relative of the former Walter Warrenne. And lastly, for purposes of this video, gules, a lion rampant argent, a chief Chequy or and azure, crest, a dragon's head couped gules. This was borne by a Warrenne who was born in 1683, and I believe was the Vice Master of Trinity Hall. If you enjoyed this video, please visit us at coadb.com. We offer ancestral research service, heraldic research service, high-resolution digital JPEG coats of arms for $13.99, and merchandise such as t-shirts, mugs, posters, and canvas prints. Thank you very much. coadb.com, link in the description.